This hour of The Ladies' Room
That's the place, huh?
with Nikita Robinson is brought to you by the great folks at Browning Company.
Great!
The hottest place to get your books and cards in the city.
That is the best.
Hot 107.5.
That's a little Nessa Preppy on your number one radio station, family. It is Hot with Two T's, 107.5. It's the Book Club Hour, family, and we are talking The Terrorist Son. Now, I have to ask Nicole and Anita, they're representing Summersfield Academy. When you first heard the title, did it throw you back like it threw me? Like, oh, am I really going to read a book about the terrorist son? What were your first reactions before you even read the book? Anita's read the book. Nicole hasn't read the book yet. But when you just heard the title, and I think you're part of the actual committee, Anita, that picked the book. So how did that go about?
When I read the title, I was taken aback by the title.
Okay.
I was taken aback a little bit more when I opened up the book and I learned who Zach's father was.
Wow, okay.
Because I'm familiar with the World Trade Center bombing
Yes.
and the terror plot surrounding that. It was, very publicized in the newspaper. But as I leaned into the story, because you got to lean into discomfort, I
Say that
thought,
again, you got to do what?
You've got to lean into discomfort.
That's when I saw the title, I'm like, I just came from a happy place.
Right?
Yeah.
You got to tear down walls to build bridges. Somebody's
Wow.
always told me that.
Wow.
So as I read through the book, I thought, okay, this is a memoir. A memoir is a book that tells a story.
And I do love
recounting
memoirs.
his memory.
Okay.
Zach is telling the memories of his life growing up from prior to being 7 years old, when his family was a happy family.
Oh, wow.
Up to the point when he found out and saw that his father became more radicalized.
Mm-hmm.
And then it takes you on his journey after his father's arrest and what his family, what he and his mother and siblings had to go through, moving 19 times in his life.
19 times.
19
Wow.
times in his life. And him eventually evolving into the person that he is today and understanding that we all have a choice.
Wow. Look at that. So when the committee presented the book to you, how did, whose idea was it, or who's part of your actual committee that goes and, finds and searches for these books and presents them
Right.
and
Well,
makes a decision?
We have a lovely committee. It's very diverse. We have an admin person, a couple of admin people on our committee. We have Victoria Brewer. He's a development person. She's the one who actually brought the book to us.
Oh, wow.
We have Mr. Charlie Judd, the MYP division head. He was on the committee. We have a couple of our English language and lit teachers on the committee, and myself were on the committee. And all of us read the book. And what was great about the book is, from an academic perspective, it met the needs of what we aspire to do at the school and what we try to impart with the students. And our mission is to inspire socially conscious, independent thinkers. And that's something that we're always talking to the children about. This particular book read, the whole school isn't reading it. It's
Okay.
only in students from M3 to M5. So if you think of an age range, there's students that are 13 and above, and they're all involved in the MYP program. Our MYP program is special in that within the program there are five areas of interaction. They call them AOIs. And the 5 AOIs are at the core of everything that is taught. And if I had to just break it down and make it really simple, it's that when children read a book, so in particular this book, we get them to see the story through different lenses, through the lens of community and service, health and social, human ingenuity, the areas of interaction, and the environment. And we ask them telling questions to help kind of prompt their discussion. But the great thing is, after that is, students are able to come up with their own understanding, their own takeaways from the book. As I said, they're able to look at the book through their own lens, their personal lens, the lens from their family, the lens from the organization. Does this represent us as a school? And even really the lens of the community. What are we saying as a community we believe in? Summersfield Academy is a SEED school. We're part of the National SEED Foundation. And SEED is an organization that we're affiliated with. We were honored with getting this affiliation. So it's important for us to have community interaction. And SEED stands for Seeking Educational Equity and Diversity through peer professional development, by promoting personal, organization, and social change. And it means looking at topics like this that might seem uncomfortable, but here in the age of 21st century learning, it actually isn't uncomfortable. It's actually what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to prepare our children and ourselves for the world. And this is what we're doing. And I think we feel privileged to be able to offer this to the students in the school and to offer this to the community.
And that's it. You're offering it not just to the students. When do the students have to read the book?
Over the summer.
Over the summer, have to read it. And then, Nicole, if you can explain to us what happens, how the community becomes involved in this.
So we're partnering with Brown & Co. The Book Mart is actually bringing in copies of the book.
Okay.
Martin Buckley, who
Hey, Martin.
is the manager there, is helping us to bring in the books.
Okay.
And so what's cool about the event is that Zach comes down and he's going to talk to our students on the Friday.
Okay.
Then on the Saturday, he's going to present the book and also have a Meet the Author event. And so that's what I'm kind of here to talk about as well, is the Meet the Author event is Saturday, September 8th.
Okay.
And it's going to be at Summersfield Gymnasium at 10 a.m.
10 a.m. Okay.
Tickets are available on PTix for $10. And at that event, he's going to go through the book and also talk about his story and just give kind of the TED Talk sort of side of it. But then there's going to be a chance to open up for questions. And so Summersfield really prides itself in being a community school and kind of inviting external partners in so that we can all learn together as a community. And so you'll be able to ask Zach questions about his childhood or ask him what it was like changing his name or changing his identity or moving 19 times.
Wow.
These are all things that the students can certainly empathize with if they can't relate to it, but there's something in there for everybody to relate to. And so this community event is just a way for us as a school to kind of reach out and also encourage that globalized thinking. Part of being an IB MYP program and soon to be IB program school, diploma program school, is that we encourage our students to have that globalized perspective, socially conscious awareness, and then also understanding and accepting diversity and grit and determination and just being able to overcome a situation that you may have been born into or may have become a part of. And one of the cool things about the book is the huge peace sign on the front. One of the admin team were reading the book on an airplane, and she was like, someone stopped her and talked about the book and said, "Are you reading that book on a plane? It's called The Terrorist Son."
Wow, I know.
Right? But it was such an interesting conversation opener
yes.
for her to then talk about what we're doing here at Summersfield.
That's amazing. That's beautiful. When we come back, we're going to have Anita Bouchard read the actual back of the book, and then we're going to find out exactly what she took away from the book as well. We'll be right back. It's the Book Club Hour brought to you by Brown & Company. It's Hot 107.5, the Ladies Room Book Club Hour, family, brought to you by the Brown & Company. And we, of course, got Nicole Simons in the studio. We've got Anita Bouchard, and they are representing Summersfield Academy, and they're talking about their summer reading program, which some of their students are reading, and the community are able to come and take part. And I think that was Saturday, September the 8th at 10 a.m., right?
Yes.
Okay, and the book is called The Terrorist Son. And Anita, you're going to read the back of the book for us, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, good. Do that, darling, please.
Okay, and this is from Zach Abraham himself. He says, "There's a reason that murderous hatred has to be taught, and not just taught, but forcibly implanted. It's not a naturally occurring phenomena. It's a lie. It's a lie told over and over again, often to people who have no resources and who are denied alternative views of the world. It's a lie my father believed and one he hoped to pass on to me." He then says, "I've spent my life trying to understand what drew my father to terrorism and struggled with the knowledge that I have his blood in my veins. By telling my story, my intention is to do something hopeful and instructive, to offer a portrait of a young man who was raised in the fires of fanaticism and embraced nonviolence instead.
Wow.
I can't make any grand claims for myself, but all our lives have themes, and the theme of mine so far is this: everyone has a choice."
Wow.
Powerful
Everyone
words.
has a choice. Everyone has a choice. And you were saying you want everybody to look at the book through their own lens and things like that. But what was your takeaway from the book personally?
My takeaway from the book is that you have the power to create your own portrait. You're going to write your own story. And I think that it's beautiful that Zach was able to write his own story, and that he's made it his life's mission to tell his story. And just to add to that, some of our students in December, they had the chance to go to the People of Color Conference in California.
I don't know
and
that. Wow.
they were first introduced to Zach Ibrahim during the People of Color Conference. And that was another lens into us learning
and what
about
is
this
that?
book.
That's something I've never heard of, the People of Color Conference.
Yeah, it's part of the Student Development Leadership Conference. That's a lot of independent schools and members of this organization, and they have a conference every year, and he happened to be one of the speakers.
Oh, wow.
Zach himself has been a keynote speaker for many organizations. He's even spoken before a Sting concert. He's
Oh, wow.
spoken and been the prelude to Bill Gates.
Oh, wow.
So he
Okay.
gets around in the speaking world, and a lot of people see the benefit of hearing him tell his story about choice.
Mm-hmm. Nicole, when are you going to read the book? Nicole
I
has
was
got to read the
waiting
book.
to read the book. I watched the TED Talk.
You
and
did.
It was really informative. And I was waiting to read it closer to when he's coming, just so that I'm a bit fresher on
Yes,
my questions.
exactly. I understand
and
that
also
too.
My thoughts. But it definitely gives room for a pause and time to reflect, and definitely see what our students are hopefully taking in and what we're encouraging the community to do as well. It's a really short read, so you could read it in a day if you had enough time. And yeah, it's exciting. It's really exciting to have somebody of this grandeur coming down and talking from a real life perspective. A lot of times in school, we read fictional stories, but this is one that's totally applicable to every individual who reads it. So don't be put off by the title.
Thank you. I'm glad you said that again. Yeah. Don't, because as soon as I saw the title, I was like, oh.
Yeah,
When
and-
Martin should be, I'm like, oh, Martin.
Yeah.
And I like how Anita explained it, definitely. And I'm really excited about reading the book myself. Now, I'm wondering if I should be like you, Nicole. Should I have the book as the book of the month for July, or should I have the book as it for the book of August, so we could
Right.
be fresh when he comes?
comes,
What do you
'cause
guys think?
Yeah, we're hoping to bring him back to talk to you so that you can interview him and get a feel for it before his community event on the Saturday. So
I think it would probably be a great book to have for the book of the month for August, because
Okay.
it's fresh.
Yes.
But if you're able to get a hold of the book before then, read it now, and then read it again, because I guarantee that you'll have a fresh perspective every time you read it. Even yesterday, as I was thinking about the book, I was on the railway trail thinking about the book and coming here
Wow.
today, and I kept taking my phone out to type a little note to myself.
Wow.
And I'd walk 50 yards and I'd type another note to myself because I kept in my mind thinking about the book, and it's full of goodness. It's full of nuggets of goodness.
Absolutely. So I'm going to ask you ladies both, what do you hope with your students and the community coming, what do you hope that they all get out of the book and they all get from Zach being here as well? What is your mission?
I think that
Or just
reading is
personally?
important.
Okay.
Number one, reading is important. Reading a variety of genre is important. Reading, usually TED Talks are transformational, so TED books are usually transformational too. So you're going to get something that matters when you read one. So I think that's important. We are responsible and members of the same community. We're all here in Bermuda. So it's important that we here in Bermuda can connect with people outside of Bermuda. And here we're able to connect with a topic that had some global significance. And anyone that's interested in reconciliation and healing, choice,
That's it.
moving forward. And I've said before, tearing down walls to build bridges.
I love that.
Understanding again that your situation doesn't determine your destination. All of
It's
those
just got all those
things,
nuggets. You hear that?
You know, these are things that are important. And obviously, we're one world. We are peacemakers. I know, and I have to throw a plug in here for our beloved, the late Ronald Lightbourne, because he was a music teacher at Summersfield Academy about 10 years ago. And one of my reflections was he wrote a song called A Small Blue Planet that was kind of the mantra for our school years ago. And he said we're a small blue planet spinning around in space. We're 1 million members of the human race. And it goes on to say all the colors of us. But basically, we're all members of the same planet. We have a responsibility to one another.
That's it.
We have the choice to decide what our future is going to be like. Let's embrace life. Let's embrace it together. Let's go through the hills and the valleys together, the bumps in the road, the smooth parts. The road that we travel together may not be a straight one, but let's travel the path together to show that we care about each other.
I love it. Nicole. Nicole's like, I'm going to follow that.
Summerfield as a school really prides itself on being a community. And so teaching that sense of community at such an early age is something that I wish I had, something that a lot of the teachers all recognize is something that we can foster in our students. And so being mindful and culturally aware is definitely something that I hope that we can share with other students. We're inviting other high school students to the event as well.
Wow.
And it's open. Students are free. So we're really trying to encourage that globalized thinking and open mindset. And just driving home the point that regardless of your circumstance or your upbringing, there's something for everyone. And we all have the choice and the ability to make a difference and to leave our mark. So that's definitely what I hope.
Excited family. So head on over to Brown & Company. The book is available for you. Again, it's The Terrorist Son. Zach Ibrahim is how you pronounce his last name? Ibrahim. Okay, Zach Ibrahim. I got to make sure I pronounce that right. And Anita, I like what you said. It's time for us to lean into discomfort. Because when I saw this title, I was like, oh my goodness. So the kid is going to lean into discomfort and lean into discomfort. And I'm just looking forward to all the wonderful things you say we get out of the book. Empathy and all of that. So really excited about it. So it's going to be the Ladies Room Book of the Month for August. So when I come back, I do have to mention what the Book of the Month of July is, right? I guess I do. Ladies, it's been a pleasure having you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. My pleasure, you guys. It's your number one radio station, fam. Hot with 2 T's, 107.5 Book Club Hour.
The secret to every great look is great hair. And new to the Phoenix stores is an extensive range of products for natural hair. Whether short, long, kinky, or curly, choose from a new range of products designed to restore moisture, prevent damage, and add shine. No matter your cut or style, get the look you're after from new brands like Twisted Sister, Wordle Curls, and Can2. Hair products infused with organic ingredients to give your natural hair the nutrients it needs to keep strong and healthy. Visit a Phoenix store to see what's new today. The Phoenix stores, for a better life.